All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, call Lime La, Alahe Nawi Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who want to teach well, and a hearty shalom to the elect. All right, it's your brother Karat Desire back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. And Lord will, I remember to call this lesson Rainbows and Chariots, okay? Because it was storming here maybe within the last hour, and still kind of storming out here in Lubbock, Texas. But I was sitting outside the crib and I looked up and I saw a rainbow, and I started thinking, hey, you know, the Lord, he made a covenant about the rainbow to not destroy the world by water anymore. And I was like, let me take a picture of it and do a lesson on this. So as I went to go take the picture, I zoomed in as much as I can on this crappy iPhone, okay? And I was able to get a good picture, because within this picture, you can see the actual rainbow. And then this is what I believe to be a chariot of the Lord, right? You can see it doesn't look like an airplane. It doesn't have that same shape as, a normal type flying object that you would see in modern day times, okay? Even though it's not a good picture, all right, but I perceive this through the spirit to be a chariot, okay? All right, because it's right there above the rainbow. And not just shortly after I took this picture, the rainbow disappeared, okay? All right, and the chariot was gone, all right? So I just believe in the spirit that that's a chariot, right? But nonetheless, let me get into this lesson, okay? Because as I had mentioned, the Lord made a covenant with Abraham not Abraham, Salakia, with Noah, okay, to not destroy the world by water anymore. All right, so we're going to read this in the Genesis, the 9th chapter. I'm going to read it in the KJV. All right, it says here, this is Genesis 9 and 8. It says, and Yahweh spake unto Noah. I'm reading in the KJV on the right side. All right. Excuse me, and to his sons with him, saying, and beheld, I established my covenant with you and with your seed after Salakia after you. Let's look up this word covenant. All right, the word covenant is barat or berith. All right, let's see what this does. Do this.
Strong's H 1285. Berith.
All right, it says a covenant, alliance, a pledge. Okay, all right. It says between Yahweh and men, under definition B, an alliance of friendship, covenant, divine ordinances with signs or pledges, okay? And that's what this is in this. It's an ordinance with signs, with a sign, okay? All right? This rainbow, okay? It's actually got two signs. This chariot, what I believe to be a chariot, okay, and a rainbow, all right? We'll get into the sign of what the chariots mean here in a second, all right? But going back to Genesis, the 9th chapter, it says here, and I behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you. All right, because Noah took two of every kind of animal that was on the earth in the ark with him. All right. So it says here, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth, and I will establish my covenant, all right, which is between him and men and the beasts of the earth. When I say him, I mean Yahweh, all right, and it comes with signs, all right, and it comes with a sign, all right, as we just read. It says, and I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there be any more flood to destroy the earth. Now let's read that in the KJV. In the NLT, it says, yes, I am confirming my covenant with you. Never again will flood waters kill all living creatures, neither again will a flood destroy the earth. So this covenant that the Lord is establishing between Noah, Salakia, and the beasts of the earth, okay, is to not destroy the world by water again. Neither kill all living creatures by water again. The Lord keeps his word. All right, the Lord keeps his word, and we have to believe that. And this rainbow, okay, is a tall tell sign of the Lord keeping his word. Okay. All right. So it says here, back in the KJV, it says, and Yahweh said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. So from the time that Noah was out here in the earth, some odd 1,000 years ago, all the way up until now. Okay. All right, all the way up until now. It says, I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a token of a covenant between me and the earth. So let's look at it in the NLT. It says, I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is the sign of my covenant with you and with all the earth. All right, let's look at this word bow in the Hebrew.
Strong's H 7198. Kesheth.
All right, and it says here on the definition D, a rainbow. All right. Let's look at what a rainbow is. It says a arc of colors formed in the sky in certain circumstances caused by refraction and dispersion of the sun's light by rain or water droplets in the atmosphere. All right. And this is exactly what you see. All right. It's in the clouds, literally, and you see an arc of colors. And then on top of that, look at that chariot there. Okay, I believe through the spirit probably, how about you, outside? That's a chariot. That don't look like an airplane, all right, or any other type of flying vehicle that is known to man. Okay, all right. So the Lord set that rainbow like he said he would, and it's been going off. Rainbow's been out here. I've seen rainbows my whole 38 years of my life, man. So the Lord kept his word to Noah, all right? And they've been around since Noah's time, all right? So just to show you and prove that's a tall tale sign that the Lord keeps his word. And you can use this as an instance to keep your faith in Yahweh Shem El Shai. But nonetheless, it says, verse 14, and it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the clouds. Shall be seen in the clouds, Salakia. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. All right. And the bow shall be in a cloud, and I will look upon it, that I will remember my covenant with my everlasting covenant between Yahweh and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And Yahweh said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the rainbow is that covenant. Let's read verse is a sign of that covenant. All right, let's read 17 in the NLT. It says, then Yahweh said to Noah, yes, the rainbow is the sign of the covenant I am confirming with all creatures of the earth. All right, so bam, that covers the rainbow part. All right, see the rainbow. All right, so we understand and know that the Lord's not going to destroy the world by the form of by the form of water anymore. Okay, so let's go to Zechariah the 5th chapter. This is Zechariah 5:1, and in the KJV it says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. Look right there, a flying roll, a chariot of the Lord. Look at that. All right, look at that. All right, it's right there above the rainbow. All right, and call Allah Yahweh Shem El Shai. All right, for allowing me to see this rainbow, allowing me to see that chariot, and allowing me to do this lesson on it. Right. It says, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, the length of 30. Salakia, the length thereof of 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. I can't measure it from the point of where I'm sitting looking up in the earth, but I guarantee you it's about the probably the same distance or the same length and width that if not bigger than what Zechariah the prophet saw. All right. It says, then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth For every one that stealeth shall be cut off on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. It says, I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And we know that this chariot, or these chariots that we see over here, or out here, are a curse unto the people that are in rulership currently, all right, which is Esau Edom, all right, because Esau Edom is the thief. Esau Edom is the one that swears falsely by the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai, all right. And our people do the same thing, because they don't know any better. They don't have any understanding beyond what is taught into them, all right? In a negative sense, they do the same thing as their master, all right? Then it says here, and unto it, continuing in verse 4, and into the house of him that swear falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. Let's read verse 4 in NLT. It says, and this is what Yahweh of heaven's army says, I am sending this curse into the house of every thief, and to the house of every one who swears falsely by using my name, and my curse will remain in the house and in that house and completely destroy it, even the timbers and stones. All right, so these chariots out here to ultimately, all right, look and see what's going on in the world, report things back to the Heavenly Father, the angels, all right, are doing that, and they may be in chariots doing that, okay, or they may be out flying around. I don't know, okay, but what I do know and believe through the Spirit, probably how about you, Shai, that this is a chariot, all right, this is a chariot, okay, all right, and Lord will you is edified, all right, to the next time, Shalom.